Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome back to the channel, anyone who is already connected with my readings, and welcome to anyone new. Now in today's readings we are asking what is happening for you in August. Very exciting times, huge astrological happenings. I've been doing a lot of extra pick a card readings around these astrological happenings. Beautiful souls, thank you so much to those of you who've been checking in on those. Now we're drawing 3 cards together. I'm actually seeing this one at the base of the pack. We're drawing 3 cards together to guide you in with a rune and a charm for each one, and then it's a question of trusting your intuition, your gut feeling, following that through. And what I would say, beautiful souls, is if you find yourself drawn to more than one pile, there may be more than one message coming through for you during this incredibly exciting month. So, first of all, pile 1, we have the Ladybug and Sweet Pea. This is also the card of happiness. I hope you can see that. Then we have pile 2. We have the Beaver and Birch. This is your card. It's also the card of home. And then we have the Chipmunk and Laurel. And this is the card of success. Wow, these are pretty impressive cards, I need to say, for the month of August, beautiful souls. Although, to be fair, we are starting August with the Lionsgate portal open. So huge possibilities are around us. Beautiful souls, if you haven't yet checked them out, do check out my Lionsgate readings. So let us draw a rune for each of these. So pile 1. You have the rune of Gateway. Pile 2, you have the rune of Initiation. And pile 3, you have Awaz, the rune of Defense. And your charm, pile 1, you have an anchor. Pile 2, you have a wheel. It looks like a ship's wheel. And pile 3, you have, it just says a tiny little heart. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it says made with love. How beautiful, delicate. Made with love. Okay, beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a few moments longer in case you would like a little bit more time. You can always pause the press the pause button as well, but I'll leave it running for a few moments. The timestamps are in the description box, and I'll put them into a comment. I'll pin the comment for phone users just to make it really easy for you to access, and also any other links to anything and everything that might be useful to you, I will put them all into that description box and into that pinned comment, and of course the cards that I'm using as well. So if any of the cards are really leaping out at you, you'll find the names of them down there as well. Tons and tons of love, beautiful souls, and I'll see you in the readings in just a moment. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. What is happening for you in August? Well, I'm going to say off the bat, really, the Ladybug and Sweet Pea is about happiness, gratitude. You have an anchor and you have the rune of Gateway. Do you know, for me, this rune always actually does speak of gratitude. It's that sort of major turning point when we can perceive everything that has happened to us, even some of the really rubbish stuff, as being a gift because we've grown from it, we've learned from it. I feel like something comes together the ladybug and the sweet pea. It's about happiness. It's about celebration and sharing your bounty. It is really interesting. That's what's coming through here. Being grounded in the face of success is almost what I want to say as well. But let's draw more cards for you. We should not just jump into too much of an interpretation with just this one card and rune. I actually think we're going to go with 3 cards from this pack. You have 4. In that case, my beautiful pile 1, 4 it is. And let's draw from one of the tarot packs as well. May we have information. What's happening in August for my beautiful pile 1, please? It's feeling very positive, very buoyant, the energy around you. Do you know, with the 4 cards, my beautiful pile 1, I feel like there's going to be an extra something. Do you know what's coming through? I have to just say it. It's like the cherry on top, the icing on the cake and the cherry on top. I feel like this is happiness, but something, almost something extra coming through, either unexpected or, well, let us see what your tarot cards are suggesting. May we have more information? Right, let us dive in and see what we have here. So first off, you have the vow. This is interesting. I'm going to put these, I'm going to put them along the bottom, I think. We have the vow, the venom. We have Eros, and we have the box. The vow, the venom, the box and Eros. What are your tarot cards showing us? We have the Page of Swords. We have the Empress. We have the Six of Wands, triumph, victory, success, and the Four of Pentacles too. How interesting. I think I'm just going to press the pause button and move all these cards along a tiny bit so that you can see everything. Beautiful pile 1. There, hopefully you can see everything now, my beautiful souls. Let's go right back to this rune of Gateway as a starting point, this space of gratitude. The rune of Gateway is a very distinct point, my beautiful souls, where it's like metaphorically you have climbed to the top of a mountain and you've probably had to work very, very, very hard to get to the top of that mountain. And it is a moment when you are invited to press the pause button and look back at everything that has led you to where you are today. And then lean into the gratitude, even the really rubbish, difficult times, because those things have made you who you are. You've had some big lessons. And then you can step through the gateway in a space of gratitude. In its purest form, that is what this rune speaks to me about. Now we have this incredible card, joyous card, the ladybug and sweet pea. Happiness. In Victorian times, sweet peas were given as again, a gift of gratitude, a thankfulness. If you went for tea with someone, you would give them sweet peas as a thank you. And yet we have this card of venom. And we have the Page of Swords here. Okay. What I want to say, my beautiful pile 1, and this is quite specific information coming through for you in August. I think you are going to reach a point of success, and that's fab. Okay, really fantastic. I think something will come to fruition with the Empress, probably something you've been working on. You've climbed that mountain slowly, steadily, bit by bit. I want to say I feel like there's a slightly bittersweet edge to it. Okay. And the bittersweet edge is because I feel like along with your success, I want to almost say potentially maybe some of you leave something behind. It's like, I want to say it's not that you break a vow, but you reassess. You change a vow. This is what I mean by leave something behind. Because in your success, you have absolute opportunity to be incredibly generous. The ladybug in Sweet Pea is all about generosity. Ladybugs are amazing. They come and eat all the pests that, you know, the black flies and the things that are, you know, causing damage to our harvest, to our fertility. You know, the things that maybe we need to eat. Ladybugs come along and they do us a favour. They are really helpful. I actually feel August for you has a very distinct flavour to it of both absolute success that is worthy of celebrating, but simultaneously there will be a need to review how you share your success and who you share it with. Because I do feel there could be an envy, or maybe you have in the past made a commitment to someone or to something, even a belief system within yourself whereby you agreed to uphold something, some sort of contract, you know, a bit like loyalty. For example, deciding that, you know, a friend is loyal, you're loyal to your friends at all costs, and then you realize that you have a friend who's maybe not being completely honest behind your back, or their motives aren't particularly good. And that's really difficult, because if you made a commitment to them as a friend and then you discover that they're not really behaving very well towards you, you face a dilemma. On the one hand, you wish to be generous. On the other hand, is your generosity really going to, I want to say, serve either of you? Outwardly, they may really look as if they need something. They need your generosity, but they may not be particularly grateful for it. And actually, if they're not behaving terribly well, then giving to them is a bit inappropriate. I actually learned this the hard way, I will say to you. Many years ago, I spoke about this. I don't talk very much about my own personal stuff because these readings are for you. But if something resonates, occasionally I will share this. And I did a podcast with somebody recently, with a beautiful lady called Sean, where I spoke a little bit about some experiences because they had made me who I am today. And what we have here, I feel, is some sort of an agreement that you've made, and I think you've tried to uphold it. But maybe the Page of Swords can indicate a little bit of spitefulness, gossipy, dramery, adolescent. In a way, it's playful. It's what I would call playground stuff. But it also can be quite damaging, especially in an adult world, when, you know, that kind of, it's that sort of playground, childish, gossipy, backstabby sort of stuff, which isn't real, and it's designed to disempower. There's something that has been going on around you. I think you are probably aware of it, and it's quite possible you haven't quite known what to do. I think it will come to a head in August. The reason it comes to a head is because something you're doing is really successful. Something you do, something you've been working at, suddenly does well, and because it does well, it brings the focus onto you. I feel like you're seen. The Four of Pentacles is very bright white here. I feel like you get seen, and because you get seen, very bright white over Eros as well, which is really standing out here. I sort of feel you get seen. Yeah, so, and it means that circumstances that maybe were boxing you in are no longer, you're able to liberate yourself. You know, happiness, joy, gratitude, an opportunity to share your success, your benefits, your harvest. I mean, this is a card of being seen as well. You know, the Six of Wands is a visible card. It's often publicly seen. If you're working on anything public that could go public or go viral, you know, beautiful souls, I do think this is something that you have worked at, but there's a very distinct energy around you of someone you've had a connection to, or a group of people. It's either someone or a group of people whose investment is not entirely honourable. That's really all I have to say about it. Now you can actually now, because you're visibly seen, it's almost like if you've been beavering away behind the scenes, and that's amazing, been beavering away, working away, in a way this personal group of people haven't seen you visibly out there. They haven't. They might know that you're working at something. They might know that you're aiming for success, but they haven't seen the visible success. But I feel like something happens here that comes to fruition that makes you visible. And this is the message coming through for you, primarily pile 1 for August. Something happens that makes you more visible, and therefore your success cannot be denied or hidden. You can't be hidden under a bushel. You can't put yourself in a box anymore. And because of that visibility, you're going to have to rethink very carefully how you handle this person or this group of people, because they would want, I just don't feel their motives are entirely honourable, and I think you probably know it. I think I want to draw more cards for you, because the 4 of Pentacles is very interesting. It asks us sort of to be quite thoughtful. In a way, it says don't cling to things. You know, you can be generous. Don't cling to things, but it can also say, you know, be thoughtful about where you place your resources. Don't spend it all at once. And I feel your reading is saying very carefully, be thoughtful about who you give to whom and where. Because there's a visible success here. Okay, let's get out another tarot pack. May we please have more information, just advice really, perhaps, Spirit, as to how to see this through, or advice as to what to do. Beautiful souls, I do post a pick a card reading every single Sunday without fail, early in the morning in UK time. It's there to ask Spirit for immediate guidance and the heads up to help you to navigate the week ahead. You may want to touch base with those if you don't already. For all of you who follow those readings, thank you so much. I'm so honoured to have your feedback and to have you connect in with those readings week in, week out. It's such a it's a privilege to read for you. It really, really is. And thank you for sharing your stories and being a part of this community. But if you are new to my readings, you might want to, during August, check those out, because they will give you really helpful, detailed advice along the way. But may we have more information, please, Spirit, for pile 1. What's happening here? Because your success is absolutely delicious. And yet, it's bittersweet, because I mean, maybe it's because it shows somebody up for who they are. You kind of get to see their real motives. Okay, so we have King of Swords. We have 2 of Swords. I always find it really interesting. This one is, we have the Empress again. Look at this. The Empress twice showing up. This is very significant, very, very significant. But let's move those down so we can see them all. Okay, so King of Swords under the page. We have the Empress. I find it fascinating in this card that the 2 of Swords shows a tower, which suggests to me always that there are some really clear-cut choices to make. It's like it's standing in a crossroads. Can you see this? So a choice and a decision will need to be made here. Now, this is a generic reading, so it could be different for you each. But we have the Queen of Wands as well, and the Empress again. Now, this Empress is holding a crescent moon. Crescent moons are about beginnings. Yeah. There's a bittersweetness here, my beautiful souls, because I do actually think you will be called to make a choice. And it's not that you're breaking a vow as such. It's more that maybe you once had a loyalty to someone and you discover that they don't really have the same loyalty back, and it calls you to have to make some clear-cut choices. Ultimately, I don't think it's ultimately a particularly difficult decision to make, because I actually think it's quite clear-cut. Page of Swords moving to the energy of the King. I think it's quite clear-cut. We have the Queen of Wands sitting under the 6. You are the master of your own destiny. You know what the deal is, and it is what it is. You know that it's not appropriate to give to the wrong people. My apologies, I've realised I've gone off on a track and haven't given you that bit of information. I said I would share something of my own story. The bit I wanted to share was, I really learned that there is a secondary karma. I ended up waffling away about doing podcasts. I deeply apologise, it's come back to me now here. I was going through a very, very, very challenging time where I had welcomed into my life a lot of people who were really inappropriate. I'd welcomed everybody in without any real discernment. Sort of took everyone on face value and then was trying to squeeze people out who weren't particularly decent and weren't honourable. And it was a really tough call, because if you've welcomed someone in and you're very generous and benevolent and giving, and I was absolutely an overgiver at that time, of course, people who you overgive to, who are only there to take, get pretty miffed when you start to say no to them. It's like adults in sort of 2-year-old bodies. You know, when we think about the terrible twos, when tantrums are thrown, and it's a really important developmental phase at the age of 2. But it's not so great if somebody is like, 45 going on 2, because you've got the energy and the rage of a 2-year-old in an adult. So what I learned was that somehow there was this sort of secondary karma, because I tried to take a really peaceful way of approach, which I think is the right thing to do. I don't believe retaliation is ever right, ever, because we're just feeding into more of the same. But I tried to take a peaceful approach by sort of almost like keeping the peace, but I was still in many ways placating and therefore feeding and fueling someone who was then behaving inappropriately. And I felt like I was continually in receipt of then a level of negativity, and I felt it was a secondary karma, that I was somehow, in trying to be so peaceful but keep someone in my life but keep it all safe, as it were, not upset the apple cart, I somehow, because I was still fueling people who were behaving badly, it was like something of the repercussions of their behaviour was then coming back at me. A secondary karma. That's what I wanted to share with you. And I feel you reach a point where you just know, look at the light coming into your reading, beautiful souls. You just know that you can't fuel, fund, feed people who are operating in a way that really, really, really isn't okay anymore. There's a pretense at loyalty, I think, and I think you have to reevaluate those contracts. So on the one hand, you've got a ton of fabulous success and triumph. Something you're doing takes off. But because it's kind of taking off, you're then having to significantly reevaluate some form of a contract that you've made with someone. And what I do need to say, my beautiful pile one, it's completely appropriate that you do, and you know it. There's actually a strength here in you. You know what to hold on to and what not. You know, it's what I would call, with the Empress energy, the healthy mothering. You know, like when a mum says no to that 2-year-old, you know, I'm not going to let you just eat sweets only. You need to eat something healthy. And the 2-year-old kicks and shouts, you don't love me, I want my sweets, you don't love me, you know. And it's like, actually the worst thing in the world would be to say, oh, okay, here, have a sweet. It's really healthy to say no. It's that firm, clear mothering. Moving from the energy of the Page of Swords to the King, where you are very much aware of what is actually happening. Making clear-cut choices, even though there is an edge of sadness around it, because it is hard. with grown-ups, but I feel something will come to a head alongside your success. So be grounded, be anchored, my beautiful pile one. It is a fabulous month for you. There's huge success being indicated here. Just look at the light coming into your reading. Huge success being indicated, my beautiful pile one. And you will be in a position where you could be genuinely generous. What you're being given the heads up here is to be very thoughtful about who you're generous to. And make sure that where you share your generosity, you share it with real discernment and clarity, and that really healthy, good mothering. So you're not giving to the wrong people, which I know I did so wholeheartedly. It was really interesting. Again, I will share something of the law of attraction that I learned. It was such a major lesson for me. I think because I was a giver, I almost thought, well, everything keeps going wrong. Maybe I'm not giving enough. And I tried to almost give more and more and more and more. And what I learned was, in terms of the law of attraction, that the reason I was giving more and not getting back, I was attracting people because I was not looking after me. I was attracting people who were also not looking after me. And that was the resonance. Whereas I interpreted those experiences as, gosh, maybe I'm not giving enough. Maybe these people would change if I gave them more. Maybe they would become kinder, more thoughtful, more benevolent. And I gave them more and more and more. And the backlash, the secondary karma, seemed to get bigger and bigger and bigger because I was actually giving things to people who were then behaving badly, actually not living well. And that's their choice. But it's sometimes important that we're not involved in those things and we're really clear and conscious about it. And likewise, I really learned the law of attraction. If I do not look after me, I will attract people who do not look after me. So boundaries, clarity, own your success, celebrate your success, enjoy the sweetness of it. And also cherish and value the lessons that you are being shown as to who to give to and who not, and who to be, remember, saying no is an act of love if it is said in the right manner and in the right way. Pile one, this is your reading. Thank you for joining me. I am thrilled for your success. I'm sorry this is happening. But I also think it's a part of you owning your success and stepping up into the fullest of your success and your fullest potential. And these people may well catch up with you at some point in the future, because if you really do step up and shine and you create with clarity and compassion a clearness of firm but kind actions with integrity, transparency, then you will be a role model. And at some point they may well step up, they may not, but they may. They're far more likely to grow and step up and become the best version of them if they can follow somebody who has already stepped up and become, and this is you becoming the best version of you. And that's about you taking ownership of that, of saying yes, saying no, being discerning, owning your success and making clear-cut choices as to where you are going to place your generosity. You can, however, of course, sit in a space of gratitude for everything. The learning, the ability to step up and take a role of leadership in your own life and of your success, because something is coming and bringing rewards and success and triumph and victory here, which is just wonderful. Beautiful pile one. Big respect to you, because truly, honestly, not only are you going to get success where it is deserved, but you're also learning to handle success. And there's a lot to be said for this, because success has historically, in terms of humanity's overall consciousness, success and power has not been held well. And what we need are people to be successful and hold their power in a higher vibrational way. And I feel that's a part of your soul's pathway and a part of your soul's journey. So I wish you honour, respect, and every success. And I really, really do honour the journey that you and the pathway you are walking. The world needs you. We need people to be successful who own that success in a way that promotes the higher vibrational pathway, the best possible versions of who we can be as individuals and a collective humanity. Big respect, big love, hugest hugs in the world to you all. I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon. Don't forget to check out the Lionsgate readings if you've not done so already. I'll see if I can stick a link on at the end of this video. Beautiful souls, tons of love. Thank you for joining me. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have the Beaver and Birch, which is the card of home. You have this Ship's Wheel and the Rune of Initiation, Perth. I actually feel that somehow you get to steer, set sail, set course for something you really want. Like maybe it is to do with your home or a place of belonging. The Beaver is very much about home, protection, building a solid base. Let's see what else we are shown. What is happening in August for my beautiful Pile 2, please? May we have information for my Pile 2, please? I'm actually going to go with those. And let's also draw your tarot cards. Okay, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have 4. Okay, let's have a look and see what we are shown. You have the Storm. Look at this with the steering wheel. You have the Lover. Okay, you have Gnosis, and you have the Self. Wow, there's a lot of rainbow colours. I feel like you're going to steer through a storm in some way. Or do you know what I want to say? Break tradition. That's what's coming through here. Breaking tradition. Let's look at your cards. We need more information. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Four of Pentacles. And we have the Moon. Okay. This is very, very, very interesting. Your August, my beautiful souls, looks to be busy, I feel. Really, really busy. So Pile 2, when I say busy, this is really, really interesting. So there's really quite interesting messages coming through, and there's a very distinct flavour to the energy around you. I feel August is a month of actually considerable opportunity for you, but like I want to say real opportunity, experiences. Bear with me. Lots of noise going on in the background. Isn't it interesting that that's just started up in this reading? So there's building work going on. And suddenly I've actually got my windows closed. So if you're not hearing my crows, that's why, because I've closed my windows because of all the building work. And literally suddenly I've noticed the candle here has gone out and I wasn't aware of it. I didn't see that going out. So I'm going to pause and light another one for you. And then there's this noise going on in the background. Yeah, lots of noise. I'm hearing breaking with tradition. I'm hearing something coming in, like when I say busy, lots of different potential experiences unexpectedly coming in, like noise, other stuff happening, and of you sort of being given a massive range of different experiences. It actually feels very delicious, I will be honest. It would be like, you know, like if you were going to go out for a meal. This is the best analogy I can think of at the moment. If you go out for a meal, and, you know, some restaurants you'll go and they'll have a very selective menu, and there's, you know, beautiful food, but, you know, 4 or 5 choices at best. But that's delightful, beautifully well thought through food. This is like the opposite. This is where you go and it's one of those taster menus, and they just keep bringing out another after another after another, and an array of different things to try. It's like the ultra deluxe tapas, but where it's a constant stream of new stuff coming in to try, to sample, to see, loads and loads and loads of stuff happening in your world. It feels busy, it feels exciting. Breaking with tradition keeps coming through. I think it's going to be quite fast paced. And in a way, I think you're going to try new things on for size. Try out different experiences. I think August is going to bring you a ton of different opportunities. A real mix, actually, of stuff. It feels quite groundbreaking. We're seeing, it feels like a new phase in life with the beaver and the birch. The birch is a tree that symbolises new beginnings. In the runes, we often get Berkana, the rune of terminations and new beginnings. It's a whole new phase of life. Let me pause and light your candle. Isn't it interesting that even in lighting your candle, I said I'll light it and then I launch into all this stuff. And I feel that's the flavour of your August. I think it is busy, it's full, it's a smorgasbord of different experiences. The self, gnosis, all about different experience. The lover, I mean, surrender to something heavenly, connection, relationship. Almost as if you are open and available to receive. There's lots of good stuff coming in. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, prosperity and new beginnings. With the Page of Wands, there's good news coming in, communications. And with the Four of Pentacles, I'm seeing you juggling different opportunities. You might feel a bit like your feet aren't touching the ground, which is why I think you're being called with this steering wheel to be, and also the card of home, to remain grounded, actually. Steer your ship well. Enjoy, surf the waves, enjoy everything that is coming your way to the fullest, but also take time to pause, reflect and evaluate along the way. Because it feels like everything coming at once. This is like, buses, as the saying goes. They all come in at once. And I do feel there's a lot of new experiences, all good, coming in for you to sample, to try. The key here is about you sampling them, trying them, reflecting on that actual real experience. So then you sort of decide what works for you and what doesn't. I mean, maybe everything works for you, but it just does feel like a ton of stuff arriving all at once. And with the Rune of Initiation, Perth, these experiences are bringing you, they're bringing you a huge amount of self-development and self-awareness. I'm going to draw more cards for you, my beautiful pile 3. It just looks as if what actually, all of these experiences, again, looking at the beaver and birch home. Beavers are builders. They're amazing. They build out of, just think of that. That is, of course, such a big part of your message. Beavers use what arrives. They use their experiences. As if a log floats down the river, they will use that log. They don't set off and order something from 50 miles away and have it delivered. They use what arrives, they use what comes to them, and they build on it. They use it and they build it. I think a ton of stuff is coming your way, and a ton of real experiences that will enable you to use those experiences to build upon. And it's something of substance. But you do need to process. You'll need to slow down and process, and you'll need to steer the ship. Decide how you're going to use all of these experiences. I sort of feel this is like turbocharged manifestation. If I was going to give your reading a title, that would be it, my beautiful souls. Okay, may we have more information for my beautiful pile 2, please? More information for my pile 2. I am seeing this, and the one at the bottom is definitely speaking. No, it is this one. Okay. We have the 4 of discs. How interesting. 4 of discs, 4 of discs, 4 of pentacles. This is showing up twice. This is significant. We have the 2 of swords. How interesting. Do you know, I really put my cards back into the packs in between readings and shuffle really thoroughly. I never put the cards back into a pack together. I filter them in different places, as I'm sure you all do. How interesting that both these cards were in, I think, the previous reading. We have the 2 of swords. Look at this crossroads here. However, different interpretation for me in your reading, because I am seeing this as many opportunities coming to you. And therefore deciding what you do with these opportunities. What are you going to do with them? I think some stuff really, you can pull something together with the 4 of discs here. You can juggle many balls. You can pull things together. You can think about what you wish to do with the Princess of Discs. It's kind of like your crowning glory almost. It does feel like buses. All the buses come in at once. Princess of Discs. These wonderful discs surrounded by oak leaves. And then we have the 4 of Cups. How interesting. You see, the 4 of Cups is interesting because it's quite a protected sort of card. For me, the imagery in this card is really interesting because they actually look kind of like discs. But we have this beautiful hair of fertility boxed in. I want to say that your reading for August, my beautiful pile 2, is suggesting that you take a risk and actually try everything on the menu. Okay, because I feel like quite a lot is coming your way. Try it all, because it's only through trying it that you're going to discover what is really right for you. And I think there may be some really quite distinctly exciting opportunities that could come knocking on your door. Now, this is reminding me of one of the readings for I did some big Lionsgate readings and extended readings with them too. If you haven't yet checked them out, you might want to, because this is we are in the middle. Well, as we come into the first week of August, we are still in the portal of energy that is to do with the Lionsgate. It's the aligning of Sirius, the Earth, and Orion. And it's a portal of opportunity. Do check out those readings if you haven't already. I think you're being asked not to be over protective or over cautious. Take hold of that steering wheel. Surf the waves, and whatever floats in your direction, taste it, try it, use it to build on. Because I think there's some really significant opportunities coming to you in August. Don't be afraid to try them. Don't be afraid to test the waters, but also be conscious that as you test the waters, you have the right to steer your own ship. You have the right to evaluate and review. Just because you try something, it's like back to that analogy of the restaurant. Let's say they bring out another plate of delicious things and you try one and it's just not your cup of tea. It's not that it's not amazing, but it's just not your cup of tea. You're not obliged to finish the plate. You can just say, actually, it's gorgeous, but it's just not me. And they'll bring you something else. You have the right to choose. So this is a month for you, I think, my beautiful pile 2, when you are going to be inundated with new experiences. It seems to me that your message is about giving yourself permission to ride those waves, take hold of the steering wheel and your choices. With Four of Pentacles as well, we have a choice. You know, we can cling to something or we can move forwards. I think it's fascinating. We've got these towers showing up in your reading here in the Four of Discs, you know, below the sort of, below the earth line, the horizon, that we have towers in reverse. And then above we have these pillars. Something of significance can be grown here. Yes, stuff is coming into your world with purpose. You might feel a bit swamped at times. On the other hand, it's going to be incredibly exciting. It's loaded and loaded and loaded and loaded with new beginnings, new potential for you. Don't be cagey and restrict yourself. Try it all. Don't be also afraid to take hold of the steering wheel and review as you go. Love every second. Enjoy, embrace, experience, review and build. Beautiful pile 2. This is your reading. You are moving through a significant period in your world, actually, where much can come from this time. Much can come to fruition. If you choose to take full ownership of the opportunity to experience and to choose. This is your reading, pile 2. Thank you so much for joining me. I am sending you so much love and I feel like so excited for you. Beautiful pile 2. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. It really does help to support the channel in every possible way. And do check out my other readings. I will, at the end of this video, put a link to those Lionsgate readings. They were really mind-blowing, actually. So it's such a powerful portal of energy. So do check those out as well. And I do post readings on a very regular basis here on YouTube. So do, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, that way you should get notification of every reading as soon as I post it. Beautiful souls, thank you. I am sending you all the love in the world, and keep me posted. Let us know in the comments how your world is unfolding during August. Tons of love to you, and I look forward to seeing you again for some more readings. Welcome, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. What is happening for you in August? Well, you have a very exciting card here, the Chipmunk and Laurel, the card of success, and Made with Love. This is a very interesting card as your first card, because laurel is what they used to use to crown the medal winners in the Olympics. That was traditionally what was used. It was success. It was an honouring of success. And this card does tend to suggest that some venture that you are about to set forth on, or maybe working on already, made with love, will come to success. You may not see the success immediately, but it will come to success. It often also indicates a road less travelled. So it means that you are potentially made with love, doing something I feel that is very special, very unique, and it's like you're doing it for the love of it. You may be hoping for success, but fundamentally you're doing it for the love of it. But we are seeing an indication of success. Now, I feel I should not say any more until we draw more cards. But you also have the rune of, I wanted to just say the rune of boundaries. It's the rune of defense. But for me, this card speaks of boundaries. It speaks of sometimes moving beyond something that doesn't fit very well anymore. So anyway, let us draw more cards. May we have information for beautiful pile 3. I'm going to go with these two. I'm actually seeing that card there, like it's squeezing it out of the pack, and that one on the base. Let's draw some tarot cards too for you. May we ask for information, what is happening in August for my beautiful pile 3, please. May we have, I'm seeing this card for you as well. Okay, let's look at these cards first. So we have the vision. Ah, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, the vision. We then have the father, which is a bit like the card of the emperor. It's that father energy. The ability to make something happen, to bring something forth in the world. We have Aletheia. And you have the mother as well. You have the mother and the father. I think this is a very creative month for you, where you set off on some kind of a venture. It will lead to success. We're being shown that. It's like doing it for the love of it. Anyway, let us look. We then have the lovers, the card of the lovers. We have the Six of Swords. Okay. We have the King of Wands. Wow. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, my goodness me. I just feel like this is success, 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 success. Literally, your whole reading is shouting success. It's making a choice here. Making a choice. It may be a little bit out of, I wouldn't necessarily say out of the box, but it's unique to you. It's rooted in love. It's rooted in desire. You may need to travel because of it. You may literally have to travel to somewhere to achieve this. Now, whatever this road less travelled is, this is a reading that is potentially speaking about relationship. We have the lovers and the Ten of Pentacles, which is very much about happy families. And you have the father and the mother energy. If this is a relationship that's either upgrading itself to a higher commitment, a higher vision, look at these hands joining, or it's a new love coming into your life, there is real potential here to build something really solid. It's like you're two sides of the same coin. You know, you are someone's white and they are your black, and you are their black and they are your white. There's a real balance here, and a clarity and a truthfulness. There's an honesty in this connection. Now, if this is not a connection to a relationship, I do think for some of you it is. The reason it's the road less travelled is because there's a purity of connection, there's a genuineness, a real honesty, a speaking the truth. Aletheia is seeing the truth of something. If this is not about personal relationships, I think there will be some kind of a business relationship or a collaboration with someone that is going to be very successful, very honest, very open, very transparent, where you are congruent in your beliefs and congruent in your desires. You balance. You are the father to the mother, or you are the mother to the father. It's this perfect balance of masculine and feminine coming together. Harmony. Balance, truth, honesty, sharing the same vision. You may need to travel, or it may be while you are travelling that you meet this person. And maybe it is walking down the road less travelled that you come across this person. But this is a venture of success. I actually love your reading for obvious reasons. I'm very curious about the rune of defense. Always speaks to me of boundaries. What it also does speak of is patience. It speaks of the need to not rush something, to recognize that things need to take their time. Let's draw more cards for you. May we have more information for pile 3, please? What is happening in August? Okay, we'll take those two. Thank you very much. What is happening for pile 3? Beautiful pile 3. During August, please. May we have more information. That is your card. Okay, so we have right. We have invocation. We have the Queen of Cups and the Moon. And we have the Fool. Okay. I feel like, for you guys, I just have to say this. I feel like you are going to question whether this is too good to be true. Okay? Because everything here just looks as if it is such a good fit for you. It really is so positive. It's so loaded with success. It is, however, a road less travelled. There's something in this that is both utterly perfect for you and yet takes you out of your safe zone. I think it's because it is so real, so honest. And we don't come across that enough in the world. But it's mind-blowingly so. And I actually think it's going to slightly blow your mind a little bit. It's going to take you into the territory of the, is this really for real? And I feel with the Fool card, it's going to throw you into that zone. Look at the Queen of Cups with a moon here and then this great big moon. I think it's going to throw you into this place of, is this really going to be possible? Dare I take the leap? What will I be leaving behind? Is this going to be worth it? I actually feel all of the insecurities that we all have at the beginning of something that is so exciting and so amazing and so loaded with potential that we think, can this really be true? I feel this is connected very specifically to a person with the King of Wands here, and the Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles, and the Father and the Mother. Your reading is suggesting this is genuinely real, my beautiful pile 3. I almost feel that you will not be able to believe its potential. And it will cause you to really worry about your boundaries and navigate around this a little bit with, gosh, almost anticipation. But I also think with the Fool card here, it'll be one of those moments where I slightly feel if you don't seize it and discover, one of those moments when you'd look back forever and wonder what would have been if you tried it. That's sort of what I feel like a little bit here. I think we should draw a few more cards for you, my beautiful pile 3, because it just feels so exciting. So much what you want, and yet almost as if it's A, too good to be true, and B, well, here I am, but this is so unique. How will I navigate this? How will I handle it? May we please ask for more information, a little bit of clarity, please, around these cards. These second cards, a little bit of clarity. I feel like you're going to be making a decision and a choice. More information, please. I am going to go with these two. Yeah, choices and decisions. Absolutely. With the 5 of Swords and the card of Justice. I think this will involve making a choice. May we have more information about this. I will say, beautiful souls, if you are new to me in my readings, I do post readings every single week on a Sunday for immediate guidance and information about the coming week. And if at any time you have a wobble during August, do check in on those readings. Plus I post other pick a card readings at different times, and all sorts of readings that ask very specific questions, and also readings that tune into the big astrological happenings, which we are in so many at the moment. So do check all of those out. But I'm just feeling like those weekly readings might be quite valuable to you as you navigate August. It's like it's so loaded with possibility, and I feel like you're fearful of it. It's not even that you're blinded. I think you're really worried about making the right choice. I think you're worried about making the right choice. Will it be the right choice for you? Maybe you've been let down in the past. I think you're worried about it. May we have more information, please, for pile 3. More information, please, for pile 3. Yes. Because I think it's quite life-changing. You'd be letting go of maybe even a way of doing something. I feel like I want to say don't be precious about this, actually. It's like you're letting go of a way of doing something. Interesting. Building work setting forth again here. An interruption. Well, it's not a major interruption. And the universe. My beautiful pile 3. I think there is someone, a connection to someone in whatever area of your life that happens. This is a generic reading. Yes, it could be love. It could be a community group. It could be a colleague. It could be a work situation. It could be any number of circumstances. But it distinctly revolves around a someone, and you sing from the same page. It could be a business partnership. Maybe you've been going it alone for ages and suddenly someone wants to collaborate and work with you. And you'd be letting go of working on your own. You would no longer be fully in control in the way that you are if you're a one-man band. Everything in this reading is actually suggesting complete and utter success. You are singing on the same page. You do have the same vision. Yes, your pathways are a little bit different, I think. There's something quite unique about this. But whatever aspect of your world, whatever that pathway is, I think it is loaded with real, genuine potential. That's what we're being shown here. What I'm seeing is fear, concern, reticence about making that commitment, about the things you leave behind, the familiarity or a certain way of doing things. But I think this reading is suggesting wholeheartedly that this is a winner, actually. I understand your reticence, but it really is, with the universe here loaded, sitting on the Fool. I mean, wow. It's loaded, absolutely loaded, with real, genuine potential here. I don't think I've seen such a positive set of cards outright in terms of success, success, success. And what I do see is the reticence and the anxiety about how radically different your world will be through the following of this. You, of course, always have a choice. But the fertility and the potential for transformation is very real. My beautiful pile 3. Made with love. My beautiful souls, this is your reading. I have mentioned in both of the other piles, I've done some big Lionsgate readings. This is the portal of energy that runs from July the 28th to the 8th of August. This is an August reading. Those readings blew me away. The energy of this portal for transformation and opportunity is phenomenal. So do check them out, and I will put a link at the end of this video. It should pop up as a link at the very end to guide you in that direction if you wish to check it out. If not, just check out the Moon Magic Weekly Tarot channel and look at the most recently uploaded videos. I do post, as I said, lots and lots of readings. But my super beautiful pile 3s, sort of feel this is an opportunity of a lifetime if you're prepared to take that risk. But I also understand your reticence, because I think it means that some aspect of your world will radically change. It may even have been something that you've really dreamed of, but the reality of it feels quite overwhelming. But yeah, I think this is a point in August when not only does it appear, but there's a need to really make a clear choice around it, actually. Make that decision, make that commitment to it. Wow, is all I can say. Wow, wow, wow. Success, 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 pile 3. Thank you for being here today. It's an honour and a privilege to read for you. It really is. Thank you all so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, for commenting, and do keep us posted. And thank you, all of you, for just coming in and checking out my readings, and all of you who follow my readings week in, week out. I cannot tell you how yeah, just how privileged I feel to have you here on board with the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you, Super Souls. If you do subscribe, don't forget to press the little bell icon. That way you should get all the videos that I post into your stream as soon as I upload them. Beautiful souls, tons and tons and tons of love.